Okay, so I have PCOS, and I wanted to make this video about my experience with PCOS and my thoughts on it right now. Also, my approach to having this condition. And I thought maybe if you have PCOS and you can relate, it feels better when other people have experienced what you experience. I find when I found out that other people experience PCOS, it helped me a lot with my journey and it did make me feel better. So like a lot of people, you don't know that you have PCOS because it's not the easiest thing to diagnose. I feel so awkward when people watch me. Okay. It's not easy to diagnose. It's not an easy process to find out that you have PCOS. But when I look back, in retrospect, I look at things that I went through when I was younger and I'm like, wow, I feel like that was a sign of having PCOS. But obviously I didn't know. I had no idea what PCOS was. Absolutely no idea. I had no idea until I was diagnosed with it, honestly. It started when I was 21 or 21, something around that age. I lost my period for a whole year. And I was like, I took a pregnancy test early on and I was like, hey, not pregnant. What is wrong? Does this person want to park here? Because did I take their spot? No, I didn't. Okay. Yes, I lost my period for a while and I didn't know what was going on. And I thought, okay, I can't go this long without a period. Something's wrong. Let me get it checked. So I went to the doctor and he sent me for some scans. And after those scans and tests, I found out that I had PCOS and my testosterone was through the roof. I had cysts on my ovaries. This is such a scary thing. I remember when I found out, I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I do have something wrong with me. What the fuck? But obviously, if you lose your period for a whole year, there's definitely, that's not normal. As much as we hate our period because of the things that it makes us feel, it signifies that your body is working normally. So my opinion on it now is when I get my period, I'm like, oh, yay, my body's working normally, even though I do not enjoy the process of being on my period. It's not enjoyable. I am happy that my body is working normally. So after this long period of time of not having my period, I had another appointment with my doctor and we were like, okay, I have PCOS. What should I do? And he told me that the best thing that I can do is get on medication. He said to get on, I don't remember what it was called, but it's for diabetes. He said, this is for your insulin. It's going to really help. This pill or the pill, the contraceptive pill. And I remember thinking, I don't want to get on a pill. I just quit smoking at the time. And I was like, I don't want to get on a pill. I don't want to get on more medication. I don't want to medicate myself. Do you know what I mean? And I know that sometimes you do need medication. And I'm just surely that's not the only, so I'm just going to be on medication forever. Surely that isn't the solution. Surely that is not the first solution to get on medication. That sounds like the last solution, So I did my own research and it didn't take me long to get my period back after doing my own research. So I didn't even hit deep levels of PCOS research. I did surface level research on, okay, what should my diet look like? What should my lifestyle look like? What are the, what actually causes my testosterone to be high? What causes my, I was asking myself all these questions, asking Google these questions. When I got the answers and I slightly changed my lifestyle, I remember reducing my caffeine intake. I remember eating more vegetables. I put turmeric in a lot of things. I started drinking spearmint tea. I had less sugar, way less sugar. And a month later, I got my period back. After a whole year, I just changed my lifestyle habits for a couple of weeks. And my period came back. I was like, this is crazy. Fuck my doctor. Because I asked him, are there any lifestyle changes I can make before I get on the pill? Please tell me, because I've been on the pill before. And it does some lovely things, makes your boobs bigger. You can not take the period one so you don't get a period. Like, there's a lot of benefits of being on the pill. It kind of regulates your emotions a little bit, but to me that feels like depression. So it feels very not happy, not sad, just numbness, but at the same time rage. I just don't like being on the pill. Okay, I haven't had good experiences. I really didn't want to get on the pill. So that brings us to our current point where I have some knowledge about PCOS. I have done a little bit more research as it's been 2 years since this story. So I have done a bit more research on PCOS and things like that, trying to learn about my body and all these things. However, as you guys, maybe if you look at any of my other videos, I do run my own cafe, my own hospitality business, which any business person says, do not run a hospitality business. Literally, don't do it. If you want like no money and like no energy and no time, then enter this business space. And I didn't see these things until I started my own cafe, but also I love it. I enjoy it. But it is very stressful. I feel like it's going so well at the moment, but my ability to deal with the stress from this career choice is second to none. Like, I don't think I realize how stressed I am and how stressed it makes me, because I'm just in the stress all the time. Anywho, let me talk about this year and it's last year, 2025, and my period and how it all went, because it was a bit of a confusing one. So at the start of the year, my period is normal, it's healthy. Maybe 5 months in, I lose my period. It skips a month, skips 2 months, and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? This isn't happening again. Like, what the fuck? I need to change my lifestyle, whatever. I try and increase my food intake and try and eat more, because I wasn't eating much at the time. And I thought, you know what? It's probably just eating. Let me try and fix my eating. Let me go to the gym more. Those two things didn't solve it. I went on a 2-day holiday. Just 2 days. I literally took one step into the ocean. Well, actually, I swam throughout the whole ocean. I swam. And then I got out and blood started to run down my leg. And I was like, oh my gosh. I literally went on a 2-day holiday, jumped into the ocean, and automatically I get my period back. And I was so happy, but obviously annoyed, but happy that it came back. And I was like, wow, it's so interesting that, you know, when I relaxed, that I got my period back. Like, that's so interesting. I took a 2-day holiday. That's really not that long. And then after that period, I don't think I got my period for 4 months. 4 to 5 months was actually a long time, but I was so invested in the business that my mind couldn't, like, I didn't even give a shit. I didn't even care. I was just in hustle mode. I wasn't considering my health. I was periodless and emotionless and just like super trying to run this business and not think about anything else. And I took a holiday a week ago and my period came back when I got back from the holiday. After 5 months, 4 to 5 months. That's a long time to not have my period. And I'm quite disappointed that it took me that long to, you know, do something about it. But like, going on a holiday or getting away from work is not that easy. I mean, it's definitely easy. I can definitely do it. It's not hard. But like, having the willpower to be like, okay, I'm not going to work is so difficult. But, yeah, I did it and I got my period back. But I don't know. I'm happy about it because I think I realized that being like relaxing is so important, and I didn't realize that I wasn't relaxing. Like, I thought when I come home and I, you know, chill, that is relaxing, but apparently it's not. Sometimes I need to be completely away from work and completely away from all my problems to actually feel relaxed and reduce my stress. But yeah, that's the story about my inconsistent period. But I think I know the cause of why sometimes my period goes, and I feel comfort in the fact that I can get it back, and I know what to do. So this year I do want to prioritize the things that I know that keeps my period, because I want to have children. I want to be fertile. I don't want to have complications within my reproductive system. I really don't. I really, really don't. So it's definitely has to be a priority this year. The next thing I wanted to talk about is cyst ruptures. If anyone has ever experienced this as a PCOS girly, these are rough. So a cyst rupture is basically, oh shit, I actually forgot the explanation, but I did do research on it. Okay, so I believe it's like the cysts that are like growing on your ovaries, or like are on your ovaries, they sometimes get big because they're like filled with fluid, and then they burst from pressure. And this liquid oozes out and is basically like interior bleeding. Like it starts to, the bottom of your uterus starts to fill up with blood. Okay, I'm not a scientist. I'm not anything with any kind of, I'll do a little bit more research and I'll get back to you guys. But anyways, it's this crazy thing. It gives you the worst cramps in your asshole, in your vagina, in your stomach. It actually feels like someone is shooting you, like, or stabbing you. I don't even know. Like, I've had a cyst rupture before I even knew I had PCOS. I went to the hospital, I went to the doctor, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. When I was like 19, I had a cyst rupture. And then last year I had another cyst rupture. And when I realized what it was, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what happened to me like 5 years ago. I've felt this pain before, where it's like 10 out of 10 pain. Usually happens when I sleep, which is really weird. Like it wakes me up and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's so hard to explain these things. I think this is why I get emotional, because for me to say to someone like, oh my gosh, I'm in severe pain. Like, I don't know why, but I'm in so much pain. Is kind of hard. Like I cried for 2 days after it. It was such a painful experience, and the pain doesn't just stop when it bursts. It continues for the next week. Some people end up in the hospital. When I found that out, I'm like, I worked the whole week that I had a cyst rupture, from the day I had a cyst rupture till the end of the week. Like I couldn't, I was working, I was crying, but I was still working. But the fact that some people go to the hospital, like it must be, I mean, I know it's painful. I've experienced it, but it's such a hard thing to deal with, and it's a hard thing to explain. And it feels like such a niche experience. When I found out what it was and I researched on TikTok, I started to see all these stories and I was like, wow, like other people have experienced this pain as well. It kind of made me cry a lot. I felt very validated because nobody understands if they haven't experienced it, right? Which is just like a fact. No one understands completely something that they don't experience. So yeah, I'm on my period right now, and I think that we should not fucking have to work on our period. Are you kidding me? I'm having like a really rough first few days of my period. Like, God bless me with my period. Honestly, I'm so happy that I have it. But the pain, the inconvenience, it might be the biggest one for me, because I'm like, I gotta work and I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta go to the gym. Like, I can't be fucking bleeding. I can't believe that we bleed like that. Like, a period is so interesting to me. It's kind of fucking annoying, actually. And I feel like we should definitely normalize periods. I don't feel like periods are normalized as much as they should be. I definitely think they need to be like, women get at least 50% of their period off, like 3 to 4 days at the start of their period. If I was Prime Minister, I would put that in place. It's so important. Who's going to fund it? I don't give a shit. Somebody fund it. Seriously. If you care about 50% of the population and you have money, fund this cause. Because I can't believe women all over the world have to deal with other shit while dealing with their period. It's really not easy. It's a natural thing that happens, and it's so inconvenient, painful, demoralizing, all the above. It feels like you're a baby, like, like you're shitting yourself constantly or something. Imagine if someone, maybe a man that doesn't experience a period, imagine you're shitting yourself unconditionally. You don't know when the shit's going to come out. You have to catch it somehow. And then you're expected to do all your daily tasks, all the work. It just frustrates me, actually. But yeah, I'm trying to relax a little bit more and kind of switch off when I get home from work. And I'm trying to come up with these rituals from when I finish work. And one of them is to take out my hair, because obviously working in hospitality, I have to have my hair back. So as soon as I get into the car after work, I literally take my hair out and I'm like, and I, start to think, okay, I'm relaxing now. So, that's one of my rituals, but that is my PCOS talk. If you're a lady with PCOS, let me know. Let me know your stories. Let me know your tips and tricks if you have any. If you do have PCOS, if you miss your periods, if you don't like taking medication, know that you can adjust your lifestyle, because I personally believe that you don't necessarily need the medication to achieve what you want to achieve, just because I've done it myself. Okay, that might not mean that it's for you. And bear in mind, this year, if I didn't get my period, like at the start of the year, I was going to get on the pill. That it was my last resort. It was my last resort to get on the pill if I did not get my period this year, like at the start of the year. So I understand if you want to be medicated because you're worried, or you don't have the time, or you don't have the knowledge to naturally heal yourself, but I'm just a walking example of that you can, and you have all the power within you to be your healthiest self and not need to medicate. Because me personally, that does not mesh well with my system. It does not make me feel good. I think it has some very negative effects as well. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about today, because I've been non-stop talking about my period since I got it. I'm like, guys, can you believe I got it? This is how I feel. This is what happened. Da, 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 da. Like, I can't stop talking about it, and it's important to talk about. I did not know what PCOS was until I got it, and I can't believe that. I think like 1 in 20 women, or like 1 in 4 women or 1 in 10 women get diagnosed with PCOS. So, it's a very common issue that we're dealing with. And I definitely think the way the world works, the way that society works, definitely has an impact on why more women will get diagnosed with PCOS. Like maybe the cost of living and the obsession around men's schedules, e.g. 24-hour clock. Anyways, I just want a world where women are catered to. Did you know that, guys, that like the 9 to 5 comes from a men's hormonal fluctuation? So for example, when they first wake up, their hormones, like their testosterone, is at its highest, and then around 4 or 5 p.m. is when it starts to dip. That's why we stop working. But it's like women are so different because we're cyclical in nature. I haven't done too much research about that, but I would love to be extremely knowledgeable about like women's cycles and all these things, because I was actually very embarrassed by it when I was younger. I remember not wanting to learn about it, not wanting to know about it, not wanting to have it. I really didn't want to have it. And I was very embarrassed. So, that's society for you. But okay, I'm done.